Since I was young, I've always heard the rumor that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was the man who single-handedly brought telephone communication to Nigeria. And honestly, I always wondered, how exactly did he do it? Was he a sort of tech mogul? Did he become B-Lord or VDM ordering container load of iPhone SRs in a iPhone 17 Pro Max? It sounds ridiculous, yet it's a rumor that has constantly echoed at a mama put stand in beer parlors and on social media. We in Nigeria often like echoing what we hear without doing our own investigation. So, in what capacity did Obasanjo bring phone to Nigeria? Was it a direct import or a policy change or something else entirely? The answer, as with most historical matters, is not a simple yes or no. It's a story rooted in deregulation, economic policy, and the relentless drive of the private sectors. Let's walk through this crucial piece of Nigerian history together. To truly understand what Obasanjo did, we first have to look at the dark age of Nigerian telecommunications. Before the year 2001, the telecom landscape was a virtual desert, controlled almost entirely by a government-owned entity, the Nigeria Telecommunication Limited, NITE. This was an era of extreme scarcity. Nigeria's population at the time hovered around 120 million people, yet the number of phone lines, mostly fixed landlines, was tragically low, just around 500,000 lines nationwide. To put that in perspective, less than 0.5% of the population had a working phone. Owning a phone then was not just a luxury, it was a symbol akin to owning a new Mercedes-Benz today. You were elite. Access was restricted. Connection quality was bureaucracy was legendary. A particular politician then famously declared that telephone is not for poor people. And it wasn't wrong. Getting a simple 90 SIM card or a fixed line could cost you an astronomical amount, up to 50,000 naira. Do you realize how much power 50,000 naira owed in the late 90s and the early 2000s? If you had that kind of disposable income, you were likely a major figure in the society. The handset itself could easily cost another 100,000 naira or more. The system was designed for the powerful, leaving the vast majority of Nigerians completely disconnected from the rest of the world. This is where the role of President Obasanjo became critical. His achievement wasn't bringing a physical phone, it was breaking the government's monopoly and creating a legal framework for competition in 2001. Under his administration, the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) held a public auction for the Digital Market License (DML). This was the defining action. It was clear public signal that the government was deregulating the sector. The successful bidders had to pay a massive $285 million for the license, a clear indication of the high stake and the government's commitment to raising the barrier for entry to serious, reputable global players. This simple act essentially opened the floodgate. Obasanjo didn't bring the phone, he brought the Nigerian economy to the company that would bring the phones. The first company to successfully buy the license and roll out services were MTN, Econet, which later became Zain, then Airtel, and the government's own mobile arm, MTEL. Even after the 2001 deregulation, the price of SIM and mobile service remained ridiculously expensive for the average Nigerians. The initial players still operated on a model that treated the phone as luxury. SIM cards still sold for thousands of naira, and many services were still billed on a per-minute basis, which quickly depleted a user's credit. The true inflection point, the moment when mobile phones truly became accessible to the masses, came 2 years later in 2003 with the entry of Globacom, owned by Dr. Mike Adenoga. Glo did two revolutionary things. Per second billing, they introduced the famous per second billing system, a major innovation that meant users were charged for the exact time they spent talking. Affordable SIMs. Crucially, Glo started selling their SIM card at a very cheap mass market price. This move shattered the remaining high barrier to entry. Other network providers were forced to rapidly drop their own prices to compete. This competitive pressure, born from Obasanjo's 2001 deregulation and amplified by Glo's market strategy, is what truly puts a mobile phone in the hands of every Nigerian. So if Obasanjo paved the way, we could argue that Mike Adenuga democratized access and truly brought the phone to the common man through competitive pricing and innovation. To wrap up, the next time someone tell you Obasanjo brought phone to Nigeria, Obasanjo did not bring the phone. He was not a vendor. He brought the policy of the regulation. He created the legal framework and facilitated the competitive auction that brought the Nitel monopoly and paved the way for private sector investment. Without that 2001 license auction, MTN, Econet, and Glo would not have existed in Nigeria, and we would likely still be queuing for a line. So if someone make that bare palace argument in front of you, just tell them to come and watch this video. So subscribe and follow for more.